Thank y'all. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. What an honor and what an amazing day to be doing this. The weather's just right. It's going to be at least partially a beautiful weekend, but what a great start to it. I want to thank Ms. Hunt, too, for letting me be here at your place. I think this is my first time to visit here, and it's a great way to visit for the first time. Thank you so much for that. I want to think, first of all, about this truck over here. I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I did drive a truck at the Diesel Driving Academy in Little Rock. So I've been there before, and but I probably need a little more work before I get my commercial driver's license. But hopefully the campaign will go well next time, and we won't have to worry about that. But look, we are here to say thank you. We're here to say thank you to all those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the loved ones of the Gold Star families. But we're also here to say thank you to the Gold Star families and to all of the families, not only the ones represented here, but the ones that are left after soldiers, service members, sailors, airmen, after they give the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And I always like to take these opportunities to emphasize the burden that the families carry. And it's not just, look, the families carry the families carry the burden when the service members are downrange overseas. They're keeping things in order. They're often the ones that are watching the kids, making sure the kids are getting to school on time, making sure the kids are staying healthy, going to work, paying the bills, doing that stuff, right? When someone is thousands of miles away in the sandbox or wherever you want to call it, Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever, you have to have life, at least in some way, continuing with some semblance of normalcy back home. And the family's responsible for that. They bear that burden while the service members are gone. And when the service members give the ultimate sacrifice, the family continues to bear an unbearable burden. And that's why we recognize them specially as Gold Star families. And we cannot just ever thank the service members without thinking about the family support structure. Because I can tell you that the families are the force multiplier for the service members. If a service member is worried about what's going on back home, does not know that the family has their back, they cannot do their job because they are overly stressed and they are distracted. And that's the last place you want to be, distracted, is in harm's way. And on Veterans Day, we celebrate veterans more broadly. But on Memorial Day, we focus on the ones who paid that price. And so I thank you all for being here today. I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for the sacrifice of your loved ones. That's the whole purpose of this day. But there's something I always like to emphasize. I have a 7-year-old boy. Who tells me he wants to go to the service academy. I'm pushing him toward West Point, but Navy's not bad. I have a 9-year-old daughter. And when I go to events like these, I often think about something that you touched on in the prayer, and that is the different generations. How do we ensure, or how does it happen, that the next generation honors and admires our veterans who give the ultimate sacrifice, who pay the ultimate price? How is it that the next generation honors Gold Star families? Let's think about that for just a second. Are you just born that way? Are you just born with that value structure? Are all of us standing here today because we were just born with that value structure and just knew when we were born that we had to value vets, particularly those who paid the ultimate price and Gold Star families, did we just automatically know that? The answer is no, we did not. And I want you to think about this. In 100 years from now, is there a guarantee that this will be happening all over the state and that people will be attending these events like this? Is there a guarantee? No, there's not a guarantee. This is something that we have to work at, because those values are not just, they don't just automatically appear in my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old's mind and heart. They don't just wake up someday, right? Where do they get those? Well, they get their values the same place we all get our values and information, right? Through the eyes, through the ears. They get the values from their parents, they get it from their church or house of worship. They get it from what they watch on TV. They get it from movies. They get it from friends. They get it from a bunch of different places. Well, here's the deal. If we don't teach young kids that this is what a thankful society does, this is what a community does, a community that wants to remain free, if we don't teach kids that, they won't know it. Now, they may just happen to have a mentor, maybe at school, maybe somewhere, that teaches them the right values, but there's no guarantee. It is up to each and every one of us. And that is why, as much as I can, I try to take my kids to events like this. Because it's one thing to tell a kid, it's another thing for them to see it with their own eyes and hear it with their own ears. And what this signal is to a young kid is the following. It communicates, maybe not the first time, but over time, this sort of gathering communicates to our young people that this is what we value as a society. That we are stopping work, spending time, money, and resources, setting aside a day as a matter of federal policy, right? We're doing all that because this is that important. It doesn't happen automatically. So I want to thank all of y'all for being here. I want to thank J.B. Hunt for doing this, because this is part of influencing the culture. And when parents go home and tell their kids, let me tell you what I did today, that's another brick in that strong wall of community that celebrates Gold Star families and the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I always like to say, yes, today is first and foremost about honoring and thanking those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So we never forget. In the Gold Star families and all the support structure that make their sacrifice that much more important. But secondly, this is what thankful societies do. This is what thankful societies do if we want the next generation to share these values. Because if our kids don't see us do this, they may not do it. In 100 years from now, what was a filled stadium or a filled arena or a filled auditorium or a filled parking lot for Memorial Day could be an empty one unless we work at it. This is not easy, but this is part of the work that we do to communicate our message to the next generation, that this is how we stay free and this is the right thing to do. God bless y'all. Thank you. And thanks to all those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. Appreciate it.